Hello and welcome to Comic Book Wars, episode 17, the comicbookspeculation.com podcast. I think that's what we're going with. I'm pretty sure that's what we're going with. As always, I'm Jimmy Linguini, and why don't you guys introduce yourselves? I don't know if the intro worked or not, but again, we're at this Comic Book Wars, episode 17. Jimmy Linguini. You guys introduce yourselves.
Hey, what's up? I don't know if we're all supposed to do this, but I'll try and do it like Jimmy did. When I say my name, it has to crack a little bit. Hey, what's up? This is Sleepy John here on the Comic Book Wars podcast.
I fucking can't. Oh my god.
You guys are rude.
One instruction. He said, you took 10 minutes before you're profane, George.
Yeah, I said don't swear for at least 10 minutes. I just didn't want the intro to be all messed up. And I think it got messed up because I think the front got clipped. It's okay. Yeah. But anyways, that's Nico from comicbookspeculation.com.
Wait, I have a serious
he's the greatest. He has an announcement. Stay tuned. Yeah. Here we go.
Prior to the podcast, Jimmy advised me that there was a negative comment about an article that I wrote for Comic Book Speculation.
This is why I don't tell you anything.
It suggested that I had no business writing for the article, and I've given a lot of heartfelt and thoughtful consideration to this critique from this astute and
it said that if you didn't see the Moon Knight news coming, you shouldn't be writing for this website. Which I think, I personally take that as a compliment to me, because it puts my website at such a high standard, right? But I'm pretty sure you knew about Moon Knight. I just think you made a stupid comment or something about it. So whatever, it is what it is.
But hanging up the headphones. It was a pleasure serving on the podcast. Thanks, guys. Nico.
Wait, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Woo, sorry. He's back. He's back.
I wish that I had an internal compass or some compassion for the trolls in Jimmy's comments feed. I also wish that when I tell people to fuck off, he wouldn't erase.
Whoa! I thought we agreed 10 minutes.
I'm over 2, over 3 if you count the other guy.
Was it 10 minutes or seconds?
That's weird.
I don't know. Nobody remembers.
Into the outline.
So D23 happened. We had some pretty big news happening, apparently. I don't know. But I think we all kind of saw it all coming, and all of our inside scoops came true, I guess. No?
John, yeah, they were all good scoops.
That we reported on every single announcement?
Good scoops, no pooper scoops.
Well, we did. We said that there would be a Miss Marvel TV show. I argued that it wouldn't be Kamala Khan, and I was wrong, right?
Yeah, you totally did.
Yeah.
You were hanging your hat on that. But you said something like, well, I'm not saying it won't be. I'm just saying it might not be, because you were trying to look for that back door.
There's not much.
I remember the whole conversation.
What was the date of the podcast?
That was July 23rd, podcast 12. 5 podcasts ago, we talked about this.
Rewind the tape.
We also said there was going to be a
good info.
We also said there was going to be a She-Hulk TV show, right?
No, that one was totally a surprise.
Out of left field for me.
It's a good surprise. But if you want to talk about that one real quick.
No, I'm pretty sure we knew something was happening with She-Hulk.
Nick from Key Collector.
Do you remember when we went over the lists last week?
Yeah.
And what book did I say on all of Nick's books that I thought was still worth a look at? She-Hulk #1. Because remember,
right?
Nico was like, there's a million of them.
I still believe there's a million of them. I picked up.
No, I know. It did jump up a little bit. I'd be interested to see if there's any more room left in that one.
Well, I've got some other picks. We can talk about them today with respect to
We'll talk about them.
Or on the weekend update, which I'm no longer.
Yeah, definitely.
Because my feelings are hurt.
Yeah, I heard your friend Keith is going to replace you. He said he thought he could do it better. So, see where that goes.
I hope one of the books is the one that you asked me about, because that's a trash book too. So,
with the Punisher smoking crack?
No, I like that book.
It was a She-Hulk book.
We don't have to talk about that now. We can talk about it later. But anyway,
talk about what?
Nobody
Punisher smoking crack?
No, you're the only person that's talking about that book. But
I like the Punisher smoking crack because, like, why would he
We're
smoke
well
crack
aware.
when he's supposed to be smoking criminals? You know what I mean?
I liked the comment from
Whoa.
someone that was like, no, that's not crack. That's free base rock cocaine. Or I was like, what the fuck?
So D23 happened this weekend.
I forget.
They had this really cool variant cover. It's what, the first Mickey Mouse cover or whatever, like the fur or something.
I don't know. How would you even keep track of Mickey Mouse with Marvel characters? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they might have had a license at some point, right?
So
Who knows? But anyway, so it's been selling for what, $200?
Yeah.
So the original sales of this book before it was like so Bleeding Cool posted an article about it last week saying, hey, look at this book that's coming out. It's being given out at D23. And so some people started throwing it up on eBay for $400 or $500 it was selling for.
Has anybody opened it up
right?
to
And then so
let's talk about what happened today then.
So Key Collector put out an alert that said that it might have the an article in it Mark Wade's essay that was pulled, but we don't know for sure because nobody's confirmed it, right? Or hasn't been confirmed.
Mark Wade has been known to be agitator to some of the comic community. So it'd be interesting to see if that's
comic Illuminati.
I would highly doubt that there would be a difference because why would they print separate printing for D23? So the other thing that happened,
well, because it came out earlier, right? That's
so what?
Why
you're saying they're
no? I'm just saying that's the rumor.
Price?
But I think it's easy because like you have the books were probably printed at the same time, and then books get printed early, and then they get sent to Diamond because Diamond doesn't it doesn't happen instantaneous, right? So it makes sense that they were printed at the same time and they were all sent to the same place. But again, there hasn't been confirmation on that. I think Key Collector is the only person who's been saying that. They could be right, they could be wrong. I don't know. But
the other thing with that book, so people were paying like $400 or $500 for it because Bleeding Cool said it was going to be at D23. Which happened to be true. I mean, that is true. But also, it's a one per store variant that was unannounced. It was on stores' invoices just as secret retailer variant. They did not say what it was. But
when did that come out?
Stores got it today.
Oh, really? Okay, I should send out some text then.
Yep. Yeah, if you got a store that you're close with and they get the one per stores, which Marvel does a ton of. That's a good one to get. It's dropped down. If you'll look today, once retailers started getting them, the last one I sold was $90, and somebody paid over $500 for it on like Saturday.
Weird.
So
as always,
Marvel. Well, I think Marvel once again showed that they screwed people by trying to be cool and just like trying to keep stuff under their hat. They really don't care about collectors or the comic book market, in my opinion. They always do crap like this. What is the exact point of holding something back like that from retailers when the news is already
by what do you mean by not telling them about it? You mean or
yeah,
what do you mean?
because some people thought it was only going to be available at D23, and how the heck are you going to get your hands on that if you live, if you don't go to that stuff, you live in North Carolina.
So this is what the one per store retailer variant looks like?
Book. It's the exact same
book.
Oh,
it's the same book. Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
But then there's also this one, right?
There's also this one per 30, which they did 30 copies total.
And they did that at San Diego Comic-Con as well.
Did that at San Diego with that Silver Surfer. Yep. Again, no really word on how that was distributed. That image was from our podcast friend Gary Nusser. I stole that from him.
Go Gary.
He is the comic perspective, as he proved again on this one. I'm not sure where he got it from, but
I hope it's because he got one, but I kind of doubt it.
Looks like he probably got it from Instagram from somewhere.
It'd be a lot cooler if he got the book.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
He'd be sitting on that thing.
Yeah.
Put in his
I'd like to know who gets these. You know what I mean? Like, it's a shame
exactly.
that none of those people who are friends of Marvel, special friends of Marvel.
I think that guy
disclosed that information.
I think that Asian sensation, CB Cebulski, whatever, I think he gives them to people.
Yeah, I thought they were giving out like panels if you answer like a bunch of Marvel questions or whatever. If you like prove your fandom or whatever. I thought that's how you got that stuff.
I've never read anywhere that said how they were given out.
Whatever, dude.
Whatever. Is that what we're breaking here? Breaking news?
What's the breaking news?
Given out to those? It's given out to the smart people at the panels.
I thought we all knew that.
Who knows? Let's go.
Where are we going?
On task. Stay on task.
What do you want? What else do you want to talk about D23? So we talked about what, She-Hulk.
We're really going to talk about D23. Well, let's go through the.
We're not talking about D23.
Fire it up.
Right. Let's go through. With respect to which announcement do you want to talk about? Moon Knight.
Let's go down through it. Yeah, Moon Knight, live action Moon Knight TV show.
Sorry, wait. You're telling me the letters is in Marvel 1000 that's written by Mark Waid is telling people to take to the street. That's hilarious. Mark Waid is crazy. I don't know. What are we doing? That's fun.
Are we taking it back? Taking the country back?
Are we taking? We're all mad because Marvel. We're taking it to the streets because Marvel didn't publish Marvel Comics 85 to 999, and they just went to Marvel 1000.
Yeah. Well,
I guess.
Is Jimmy allowed to come take it to the streets as well?
I don't know.
All right, let's talk specifically about Moon Knight. So I have some mild reservations about this being on Disney Plus. You know, a lot of my there's no way they'll announce that for Disney Plus. Remains kind of like a solid feeling. How do you put Moon Knight on, for all intents and purposes, like Disney television? He's not a character who is Disney, at least not in the traditional sense, right? I mean, you've got a guy who's at least in one iteration schizophrenic, and another iteration, and every iteration he's very violent, and maybe only second to the Punisher as far as like the superhero, anti-hero kind of.
I don't know if there's any way that we would know about this, but could it still be on Hulu, even though they announced it at the Disney?
It could be, and we could see an announcement where it gets moved to Hulu, which I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But I mean, they just might not have blood, and it might just be more based on his mental state than maybe like the more violent aspect of.
Well, even so, like a psychotic or like a psychological thriller, I just don't see that as
Disney product.
Something that like I anticipated or that I'm really looking forward to being told on Disney Plus. Now, if anybody can do it, I've got faith in Marvel. I've got faith in Disney. They really have produced time and time again over the course of a decade now. So I just can't say that I saw it coming. But that really leads to the comparison between Werewolf by Night 32 and Tomb of Dracula 10, which we talked about a little bit earlier today. Is there any room really to grow at this point for Werewolf by Night 32 and high grade? It seems like the numbers just won't stop.
Well, we can talk about, if you want to get into that real quick, we can talk about the numbers that just popped up this week for graded copies of that.
And you tracked it.
I took a quick look at it because I was just intrigued as to what it was doing. And I know, Nico, you've been after this book for a long time. Everybody has, but even recently,
I picked up a copy, flipped it, just because it wasn't high enough grade to keep, really. Yeah,
and that's the stuff where it's kind of like you got to have money to make money. You can pick up a copy, flip it real quick, make a few $100 or whatever. Is that worth it? I mean, if you can make easy money, why not?
Yeah, I mean, in my case,
money sitting there, though.
Yeah, in my case, it was like make a quick 200 and like 2 1/4 maybe after fees. I don't know. But no, did I have an opportunity to buy like a 9.2 or a 9.4 or a 9.6, at a reasonable price and then flip them within like a 2-3 week period of time? Absolutely not. All those books were like top dollar by the time, the sort of Marvel whistleblower that's been tipping off the comic community highlighted it.
I'm surprised you even are
Well,
allowed
I
to write
also
an
was going to
article
pull the trigger
for that website because you probably didn't. It sounds like you didn't know Moon Knight was coming.
Yeah, I also right. I also was going to pull the trigger on a Moon Knight copy, which you and I and Jimmy discussed on Friday night, or Saturday before the announcements were coming. Remember we talked about that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Nico, I remember.
I don't remember.
Regardless,
You're asking if I
don't give a shit
remember.
from
I
your
don't know what you're talking about.
But then they announced him early, and I was just boxed out, which I
Yeah.
thought was, that kind of stuff I like getting got, which is so. But here's sort of the opportunities I see for Moon Knight, right? So, and shout out to my buddy Keith for talking to me about this promptly. This is a character who doesn't have a lot of villains, right? So, who's he got? Bushman, who first
That's
appeared.
not. I don't even think that's a real. He only has about 35 appearances in Marvel total.
Right. So, are you going to do Black Spectre? He's not really a big one either. Now, we did get from Geeks Worldwide a tip about that face. A tip
Jeez
about Werewolf by Night. That was not confirmed, but came out at the exact same time as the Marvel news, and we saw all of those Marvel Spotlight 2 copies disappear from eBay.
Marvel Spotlight. Oh, you think that's Moon Knight?
Well, the question is, are they going to introduce Werewolf by Night 2 in the Moon Knight series? Is that
Werewolf by Night? Are they gonna? I think it's too much Dracula. What? I'm sorry. Blade. Don't you think it would make more sense to be Blade?
Well, we don't know, right? Like there was no real.
We don't know.
It just said that something was happening with this character, right? That was what this announcement was.
No indication. Correct.
Who made this
Marvel
announcement again? Because I saw it on Key
Geeks
Collector.
Worldwide?
Who's Geeks Worldwide?
There's a website that's people listen to because they're not tragically incorrect.
Do they have like a good track record?
I have not done a good job tracking it, but they're not a website that sticks out like a sore thumb for horrible spec tips. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if you find
book news,
if you find a store that's pricing books based on Overstreet Price Guide, and I mean, they're coming rarer and rarer. It's still a good book, I guess.
The issue with Werewolf by Night 2 is there's 0 copies in 9.8 condition on the census. High grade copies.
How is that an issue?
That's amazing.
Never have been.
It's not an issue. It just means it's rare and high grade. So
that's a fucking sweet issue. I mean, dude, the guy who collects high grade books, that's pretty fucking sweet. That's like the key sort of takeaway for me when I think about that book.
There's 9.6 copies?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, whatever.
So crack it. Nico, you probably don't know about this. What you want to do is crack it, press it, resub it, and then you put $100 bill under the first page.
Did we talk about She-Hulk?
No. Let's
She-Hulk was the surprise of the TV shows, at least for me. But pretty much the whole weekend, it was the surprise that and honestly, I remember looking at this last week, like people a lot of these characters like She-Hulk, even Hulk himself, people don't know where they stand with what movie studios own the rights to them. Now, I remember looking at She-Hulk, an article last week that was saying She-Hulk was still at somewhere else.
Universal.
Hulk is.
That the rights were tied up with Universal and that she has to appear in an ensemble cast in order for her to appear on either television or the big screen.
Same as Hulk, right? Same as Bruce Banner Hulk.
At this stage, what the hell do I know? I haven't looked at any of the documents, but that's what's being reported by major news sources, right? Not like the Geeks Worldwide podcast or Bleeding Cool, but like by major news outlets that have huge editorial departments. So when you can't rely on that, it makes it difficult, but it makes it a lot of fun. My question is what really happened behind the scenes? Who knows? But what kind of books? I'm not a big the Savage She-Hulk #1 1980 fan because there are so many copies. I mean, there's a guy at the last OhioCon that you and I were at together that's got 400 of them in a short box. Kudos to him.
It's the same as Miss Marvel #1. There's a number of books that I put in that same category, and what that is when comics started to become a hobby that you would invest in, more or less. At least that's what the comics put on the cover. So you have books like Miss Marvel #1, Savage She-Hulk #1, and Shazam #1. Those were all heavily ordered. They're super easy to find. If you go to any Comic-Con, you can find multiple of them. But they still command a premium because of their age, and that's where you get into grade. It commands another premium as well. But they're not hard to find by any means.
Yeah,
and that's what you're saying. Like,
really for She-Hulk, there's the 1 in 100 variant for the 2016 series.
Yeah,
always. Yes, and it's always commanded a premium. I think that book's really going to stand out now. But the thing with Moon Knight and She-Hulk is these guys are years and years down the road. I mean, I think there's time.
Yeah.
Be patient with your purchases. Don't rush in. Be methodical and wait for people to stop paying attention. You're competing against shiny object speculators.
Yeah.
Right?
So
they will move on.
Like we were saying,
and when they're looking at something else, you go there.
Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night 32 this week. A bunch of copies sold for all-time highs. 9.2 sold for $2,900. 8.0 for $1,860. 7.5 for $1,660. A 5.0 sold for $900.
Yeah. Now, if we compare that to Tomb of Dracula 10.
Yeah.
There's no comparison. Werewolf by Night 32, it commands a superior price in all grades. And my question is, with Blade being on the big screen, is it better to sink your money in the first appearance of Blade than the first appearance of Werewolf by Night 32?
Well, I mean, which book do you think more people
It
have
all
been
depends
going
on your
after?
buy-in. I mean, what do you think is going to... I would say absolutely in terms of a movie does better than a TV show. Now, the one thing we did not hear, which I was always kind of thinking it was Keanu Reeves playing Moon Knight. We know Marvel's talked to him. We don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Well, how does that change everything?
But could you imagine him
He's the actor of the generation. Moon Knight, all of a sudden, like our friend Keith refers to Moon Knight, his favorite character, as a C-list character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keanu Reeves stars as Moon Knight. He's fucking an A-lister forever.
She-Hulk is a C-list. Maybe a B. I would put her down a C, though.
Yeah, maybe a B. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But she'll be great for television. I mean, she was made for transactional TV. You got a heroine who is an attorney and can do kind of like the episodic, television show with like some sort of like law bent. I think it'll be great for Disney Plus.
She's an attorney, unless it's produced by Dick Wolf. Is anybody gonna care? That might be a good twist in there. Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. Wait, that's ESPN. That's their other channel. You get that too. Sorry.
It's like
ESPN, Naked and Afraid.
So the other show that we talked
Jimmy
about
likes that. That's why he's going to buy the package for the next
Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan.
Yeah, so I crank out my first top 10 list, which for my article that I'll never publish because I'm never writing about comic books ever again. But the way I see it, there's like literally about 10 key Ms. Marvel books. And, my sort of takeaway on that is that I think if you compare Kamala Khan to Wolverine, right? It's like the inverse. For Kamala Khan, the books that command the premium are the cameo appearances.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
13, 17, as opposed to the all-new Marvel .1, #1.
Or Miss Marvel #1.
Certainly Ms. Marvel #1. What I think you're going to see happen is collectors are going to gravitate to the all-new Marvel .1, much like they did with Hulk 180. And what we've seen, and I write a little bit about this in some of my prior articles about the psychological effect of people just risk aversion and fear of loss and those sorts of things. But I think what you'll see is not a depreciation in the value of Captain Marvel 14 or 17, but an increase in value of the all-new Marvel .1 number ones. And then as it appreciates, much like Hulk 180 did, you'll see a corresponding appreciation in the value for the cameos in Captain Marvel 14 and 17, but that will come second.
Yeah, that makes sense. That book, I've talked
We'll
about that
rewind
book
the tape
before.
on that shit too.
That All New Marvel Now is a tough book in high grade.
Yeah,
Moon Girl,
hard in high grade.
Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur.
I didn't see that coming. No, I did see that coming.
You've talked about this about 10 times, and every time I was like, you kept saying, "Oh, Lord Fishburne's thing is attached." I'm like, "All right, dude. I guess I've never heard that before," but that was actually a lot of the news was like, yeah, this was announced in February 20, 2018. Marvel Entertainment Twitter announced this.
I don't know what I'm doing. I shouldn't write about comics. I need to stop collecting comics.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty excited about it, honestly.
Marvel Entertainment put it on Twitter that there was a show coming.
But I mean, whatever, man. Moon Girl is a cool character.
So that was surprising that it kind of, I guess, took this long to get to this point. Is what I'm thinking. Is that's 18 months later, more or less. The what if the one thing that stuck out to me on the what if news that they had.
No, let's go back to Moon Girl.
Topics that they discussed.
No, what are you doing?
They're gonna cover all of the movies.
Can't hear me,
somehow.
He can't.
The one thing I didn't see anybody talking about was originally when they were talking about the what if was Peggy Carter was gonna be Captain America.
Yeah.
And so that Exiles #3 shot up, and cool. Now they released an image of it at D23, and it's actually her as Captain Britain. I could not find anywhere that this ever happened in the comics, so it's kind of
it hasn't happened in any of the comics.
That they're going that route. I'm not sure.
You can't hear me though, so
because I guess we always assumed they would stick to the what if comic books, but this kind of makes it look like they're going to do a what if. We'll stick close to the comics, and we're going to change it up like we always do with all the stuff. So, anything else on the what if stuff that they're going to do? Marvel Zombies possibly or something.
The Marvel Zombie one is interesting. Obviously, I think that I'm just more interested about what's going on with the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur thing. Because Devil Dinosaur 1 isn't doing anything, which I thought's pretty interesting.
You can get 9/8 for $300.
And that's what the first appearance of Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy. And is Moon Boy going to show up? We don't know. But also there are a few other new characters that showed up in Moon Girl that I guess you can speculate on. I don't know. I know there were a few store variants when a few characters were introduced. So, I mean, people knew that things were happening. So I'm not sure exactly what the print runs are on all those books. But that's something to think about. As far as what if goes, I think that's it though. I mean, I can't think of any other what if books that stood out to mind. I mean, they say the whole Avengers cast is going to be showing up at some point, so I mean that's interesting, I guess. But
here's kind of my take on the what if.
And also the prices for the Disney Plus stuff seems really good. So
yeah, I like snagging what if books out of dollar bins every chance I get. Just take them because people are what if run collectors. People collect what if runs, not to the extent that they do like Spawn or Spider-Man, but they absolutely do. So if you do shows, big or small, snag what ifs out of dollar bins when you're at dollar bin, sales, and stick them in your show boxes. You will watch run collectors pay $10 a pop for random issues to fill out their runs. And I think what this show, if it'll do anything, it will create more and more run collectors.
Maybe.
The fuck does that mean?
Maybe. I mean, if they do more seasons, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know.
I would never recommend
bucks for issues that are complete garbage, but whatever.
Yeah.
You don't pick high grade copies of what ifs out of dollar bins.
Well, one, you didn't say high grade. Two, there's a lot of.
I always fucking mean high grade.
Whatever.
If you're getting a dollar, what if? I wouldn't put it in your box. Falcon and Captain America TV show.
There was a strange tone.
So they released who, me or John?
Clearly John.
Oh, okay, cool.
You always have a strange tone, but that's for a different reason.
No, I'm just always a dick.
More rapey.
Does my microphone not come in clearly
rapey?
every time?
rapey.
Which one's more rapey, me or John?
Depends on the time of day, but at least in that.
That's rude. That's rude.
But you were talking about John. Okay, cool. I'm glad you're talking about John. But yeah, so they released a poster, and it shows that Falcon has his short hair again. Very sexy, obviously. And the other big news that came out. The other big news that came out about that was that U.S. Agent is confirmed, and that, of course, has pushed his first appearance books all crazy.
John Walker.
Yeah, I don't get why that's
Captain America 323, and then he becomes U.S. Agent. That's when he becomes Captain America for some reason or something. Or no,
that's when his first appearance.
And then he becomes Captain America in another issue, and he becomes Captain America for a while, and then in 354 he becomes the U.S. Agent. So we'll see how that will he become Captain America? Is that what's going on with the storyline? And then he somehow has to fight Falcon and
I will say those.
It seems interesting.
The Winter Soldier. Sorry. The all new Captain America #1 books. Where Falcon becomes Captain America. I think those are down pretty well from Endgame highs. They might be something to take another look at if you can find
I don't know why
some.
Falcon is like a second-class superhero. I mean, his first appearance is, in my opinion, one of like the. It's just one of the fucking keys that I'm shocked that they haven't gone sky high, in spite of all of the indicators that they should. I mean, the guys actually got Captain America on the big screen. It makes
there's no doubt, like on his first appearance, right on the cover. It's one of those first appearances that in this day and age, it's one of those ones you hope for where nobody's debating what the first appearance is. You get the cover.
Let's talk about the one that people are talking a lot about, the Avengers 47, 48, the Dane Whitman, because there is a little bit of controversy as to which book is the book to buy. And
why are we talking about that?
Well, John, that's a good question. The announcement came that everybody's favorite Game of Thrones star is going to be playing the Black Knight, Dane Whitman, on the big screen in the Eternals film. Kit Harington, I think is the guy's name.
Yep.
That's a big deal. He's a beloved character and a beloved actor. And for whatever reason, people have been gravitating subsequent to the D23 announcement to Avengers 47 because it was announced as Dane Whitman and not as the Black Knight. Personally,
interesting.
I think that's insane. Hey, if you watch the show, my suggestion is buy the 48. You'll be happy that you did.
He's on the cover of. Yeah, he's on the cover of 48.
As the Black Knight. 47 is the first appearance of Dane Whitman as a person. That being said, the 48 cover with him on the cover is just the superior book. I got one around here somewhere. It looks
that
like
one is selling for.
So you're biased, is what you're saying.
That's 48. You said.
Thanks for proving your bias.
I mean, I probably got a 47 back there. If
bullshit. If you did, you
definitely have him downstairs.
This guy is biased.
Oh fuck. But anyway,
this whole thing's skewed now.
I'm
calling shenanigans on all of this.
Only have one, but Lord have mercy. The one that I think there's still a lot of room on, and I'm a little butthurt that I missed it, is Marvel Superheroes #17, which is a giant-sized book. I liken that to Silver Surfer #1 or Fantastic Four Annual #1.
Marvel Spotlight #2. Hello? Is this thing on?
No, I don't really.
Hello?
That's not the comparison I was making. Not really.
It's a square-bound book.
I like destroying your dreams.
It's a square-bound book. It's like the second one in line, right? So when FF5, pops, it pulls the other one up. When FF48 pops, it pulls the other one up. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
With me. So anyway, a CGC 7.0 copy sold for like $70 or $80 yesterday, and I missed the auction. I was just like disturbed, right? Like I could lose $1,000
you need to spend
eBay and it wouldn't bother me, but like I missed the chance to make like a couple $100 in an auction that I saw coming, and I'm holding on. Alas.
Need to spend more time on eBay, less time working.
True.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree more. I wish you could convince my player of that.
Speaking of Eternals, what else do we want to talk about?
Cersei.
Well, what happened
2023?
with Spider-Man and Disney? And like, I don't personally care. I think it's like nothing issue. But what does this say on the outline? It says something about Lords of Longbox and Cosmic Book News. What does that mean?
I've been a longtime fan of Lords of the Longbox. I don't know why they keep going with this guy who's supposedly feeding them information.
The Black Knight.
That it's just proven time and time again to be wrong. I don't like. I feel like.
So are you trying to say that they just make stuff up? The Lords of the Longbox?
I feel like they've really hurt their brand. I don't know why they keep doing it. But
didn't their YouTube account get taken down for some reason? Doesn't that hurt your brand?
That was, I think, a live auction.
No, so I refuse to be seen when I say this stuff. It's just going to be on Sean. So
they have more subscribers than us already again with a new account.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
Well, God bless them. Maybe we can somehow get a crossover.
Yeah.
Right.
It just and so Cosmic Book,
the White Knight.
Cosmic Book News, who we've talked about many times, puts out bad info.
How about the Canadian Knight?
They picked up their YouTube story that not only was a new Marvel deal going to try to be done by D23, that they're basically saying it was going to be done. They were hoping to get it done because they didn't want to have egg on their face, basically, with Marvel and Sony. Also, they said, I watched it. He said Tom Holland was going to be at D23, and basically his logic was, why would he be at D23 if he wasn't there to talk about Spider-Man? It took 3 seconds to Google Tom Holland and Disney to know that he's in a Disney movie with Chris Pratt. And that's why he was at...
What's the movie?
It's an animated movie called Onward, I believe.
I was hoping it was called Spider-Man Part 4, but he doesn't play Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. So, and then Tom Holland basically said, as he was walking off stage, people were chanting for Spider-Man, and he said he loved him. Tom Holland's I think that dude right now, he might have some of the highest stock in Hollywood because he says all the right things. He always talks about how much he loves the fans, all this stuff. He seems to be getting all the right roles. He's doing it well.
Just likable, he's lovable.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to that kid. You're like, oh.
But basically, I don't understand. So this came out. There was also we don't have this on the outline. There was also a news story that came out about Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends was going to be a show, and pick that up because it's the first Firestar. Everybody needs that first Firestar. So that book went up to about $60 on Thursday, Friday.
But there's no mention of Firestar, right? In the announcement.
So they announced they're doing a Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends show, but that's the name of the show. It has nothing to do with Firestar being a character at this point. Mm. Now they could bring the character in, but it's just the name of a show that also happens to be the name of a comic book. So we've talked about this many times. I mean, I feel like we've always put out pretty reputable information. So it is what it is as far as where you're getting your info. You can check out, you can believe who you want to believe. I would just say be cautious of people who have put info out that has continued to be proven not true.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because we spoke about it on July 23rd podcast about Miss Marvel and a few of these other Miss Moon Knight, other things. I mean, we didn't know what was happening with some of them, but we knew things were going to be announced. Black
Panther.
Well, the Black Panther thing wasn't confirmed, right?
Yeah.
The Namor thing?
Oh, no. Basically, they said they have a new villain, but they're not naming it. It's thought that Black Panther 2, being where it lands on the timeline, will be the first movie that has some of the Fox mutants, or the Fox characters, I should say.
Not Namor, the first mutant. Outrageous.
Well.
But the other one that came out today, I guess, was that America Chavez,
Jesus.
Who is an American, obviously. But there's that there's possibly a
Canadian
TV
Chavez.
show on Disney Plus that's going to be announced for America Chavez, and that's from the same source that said all the stuff that was confirmed at D23.
Now you put this. Now there was a post on comicbookspeculation.com, I believe, about
No, just
America
on the
Chavez.
social media.
On the social media on Facebook.
Yes,
When
Facebook
was that
and
posted?
Instagram.
2 days
this-
ago, day ago.
Today.
Well, that was posted yesterday.
I hope that there's some.
I think it was earlier today. I don't know.
Page.
Who knows?
It was ahead of most of the other sites that were posting it, but yeah. So you have some images to share of that, maybe?
Yeah, no, it was
Mr.
yesterday.
Lamborghini?
You're right. It was yesterday, and
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody else actually talking about it, which I was surprised with.
Not until
But yeah,
today.
so this is the regular
The
cover.
books are selling, so
I sold all
Wow.
my copies, so I don't know. But this is the regular
Th-
cover. You can still find them in bins, apparently. That's what some people were saying on
no,
the
you
cover.
absolutely can.
And then this is what
What
the
idiot
one,
has that in their bins for cheap? Oh, I've been buying them for the past 6 months.
This
I
is
also
what the
talked
one.
about this book on our podcast when we talked about
Fucking nightmare.
books that were
So this is what Vengeance 1 in 25 variant.
Mike Diodato. Nico, remember the podcast
Who is it
when
by,
we talked
sorry?
about
Yeah,
undervalued?
no, right. After San Diego Comic Con, what's left to spec on?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one, but it's a nightmare to find.
Wow,
the
you
last
can-
raw copy on eBay sold today because I was like, should I buy it?
$275.
I don't know.
It was only up for 2 days.
Yeah. Looks like I'm not the only person that has that.
There
many
is-
searches.
Yeah, exactly. I've had it for
But yeah,
a
I like
year.
these. I like
Right?
these books. I've always liked these books. I like the covers.
Well, all
Yeah,
those
it's a
Vengeance
Delato.
books are Delatos. Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, they're nice.
The variant's Diodato, though. That's what
Hey,
you're asking.
The one thing we didn't talk
No,
about.
I just wanted to
with
hear you say it
the,
again.
Mike Diodato Jr.
The one thing we
Yeah,
didn't talk about with
somehow
respect
it's
to
still a young
D23
gun.
announcements is Cersei.
Oh, Cersei. It
Cersei.
wasn't.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't John Walker.
No,
I think we talked about it. I just didn't show any flashy pictures.
You definitely didn't
No.
show me the good pictures.
You've been asleep at the wheel most of the
but
podcast.
This the controversy is this one or Eternals 3.
I like when Nico does his pictures.
I don't.
Because I just have random books here.
Take stunt.
I pushed the wrong button because I was looking for the one that he showed up. What was that again? Nico, what book is that?
Is
So that's what Strange Tales. What?
109
Strange Tales 109. And what's the
I don't-
controversy?
I don't know
or
that.
Eternals 3.
How is that a controversy? They're saying that Cersei appears in both of them.
Well,
A character named
telling.
Cersei. Does.
and
Oh.
so guys that are incredibly
And Strange Tales, what? 109 comes out before Eternals 3.
Way
Is that
before,
real
dude.
life?
I'm
Way
just,
before.
I'm just listen. I'm just making sure we're all on the same page, okay?
You're
Don't
trying to
come
help
at
the
me and
viewer.
say, "Oh,
You're
this
trying
is
to help
real
the viewer.
life."
You're trying to help the viewers. I see what you're doing there. That's very kind.
Shoot.
He's very
Okay,
kind.
so
to
anyways,
our
I think
viewing
that
audience.
I mean I
May
don't
not
think that's
be
going to affect
sophisticated.
Eternals 3. I mean, I saw a few
Gee.
sell this weekend, but I mean, I think Eternals 3 will still be a solid book. I think it'll just bring renewed interest to Strange Tales 109.
My understanding is that they're two separate characters.
Well, it could
Okay.
be, but I mean, we're not going to know really until like who knows? It's all up to speculation, right? So
Doesn't
I think
matter. It's what the
I mean,
market
I think they're
decides.
probably two different characters, but I still think Strange Tales 109 is going to see a little bump.
Oh, absolutely.
If
It
what
has.
you guys are saying is true, I don't. This is the first I've heard of it. I've kind
It's
of
all a
been
bump.
asleep at the wheel this week.
Yeah, it's all bump when Angelina Jolie was announced. Both those books started getting a lot of attention.
You mean when she
I think
was
the Eternals.
before she was announced as before the actual casting came through that
When
she's
she
seen,
was
but when she was
yeah,
rumored,
exactly when she was cast, but they did not announce who she was playing.
And
it
then
was
when
like,
they
oh,
announced who she
she's
was
gonna be
playing, it went
Cersei.
down. And then it was announced on the weekend that
and
some
again,
Gemma
rewind the
something was
tape.
playing Cersei,
What we
right?
suggested was that it doesn't make sense to do Eternals without Cersei. She's the matriarch
Mhm.
of the storyline.
Yeah, she's based. If you watch,
Buy those books, and I hope you did. It's too late now.
yeah, she's basically the person who. So they're all gods. They're all equal power. They have different powers, but they're all of equal level. But she's kind of the one that corrals them all, more or less.
She's also the one that loves humankind. So, there's a romance between her and Kit Harington's character, Dane Whitman, the Black Knight. Both of those characters end up in the Avengers for a short period of time. And, again, there's some other books that you may want to pick up if you see them. I think they'll stick out like a sore thumb. They're cover buys, but if you can pull them out of like dollar bins or back issue bins for a reasonably inexpensive amount,
What books are
I think
those?
they're going to be there. I mean, I could grab stacks and look for them. I've been doing it, but I feel like our very sophisticated viewers will be able to use their own good judgment.
What is he talking about? This sounds very cryptic.
I
guess the other book the other Eternals book
Hey, viewers, go out and pick those books up. Yeah, you know which ones I'm talking
pick
about.
up those books that might be $1. You
Oh
know,
my God.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
It's
you know what I'm talking about.
Eternals 11 is
I leave this podcast with a migraine every Tuesday. I want you guys.
That's the plan. I hope that's the plan. See, that's why I like when we do the video like this. You're just sandwiched in between us. You can't get anywhere else.
Podcast success.
Yeah, it's just a meat sandwich, and you're the meat, and I'm somehow the left bun or something. I'm a bun of half.
I don't like any of.
I don't like where this is
going. And you eat buns, and then you also eat the meat. Anyways, the point is, Eternals 11 is seeing some interest now because the character Droig was cast.
Droig.
And they showed the whole cast of Eternals, and they showed this new poster with all of them in their costumes or whatever. Anyway, so that's the first appearance of that character, which I think
is terrible, by the way.
Whatever. Eternals is like whatever. It's a space thing.
They all look the same. It's like they all just have like the same costume on. It's not nearly as cool as Guardians of the Galaxy, where they don't even look like they should be together.
None of us knew. All of us thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be garbage, though, when it came out. Like, until it came out, we all thought it was going to be hot garbage.
Mm-hmm. Not me.
Yeah, you too. You too. Don't even say what me. You didn't have a podcast, and I remembered the chats. Don't make me look at the chats. I can find chats of you being like, it's going to be hot garbage. Whatever.
Check the podcast tape.
Whatever. You're just the right bun, okay?
Check the tape.
Hot garbage.
Black Widow. They announced they had her costume, different costume at D23. It's this white costume. This book's seen a little uptick. It's Adi Granov.
I posted this on Instagram.
So did Jimmy
because William Zachman or Ultra Maximus sent it to me. Great guy.
Ultra Maximus was on it.
But yeah, so this is.
Look at the art though. If you saw this, it's not Granov. It ain't that good.
Yeah, it doesn't look that great, honestly. No, and the costume doesn't look. If you look at the belts are different. The only similar thing is the white costume. I don't think it's the exact same, but I do see how people are jumping on it. Is it the first appearance of the white costume? I don't know.
No clue.
Deadly Origin is the miniseries that many are suggesting is at least to some extent going to have some kind of like comparable plot to the film. So I think that helps the book.
It's kind of the film it takes place in the past. It's kind of an origin. That's why Red Guardian's there. That's why Yelena Belova's there. Would you also say it's deadly? I mean, oh boy. But that cover, the A cover, the base cover looks exactly the same, except it's a black costume. I think that's a 1 in 15, or 1 in 15. But it is seeing a nice uptick if you can find one.
Very nice.
Okay, so we've talked about all of the D23 stuff and even newer stuff. America Chavez. What has not yet been announced? Mr. Lamborghini posted something on social media, I believe, that had a full list of most of the stuff that's been announced and some people that have not. Some characters that are rumored to be in Marvel movies, TV shows, they have plans for, etc. The first one, there's a couple that are fine. I think a lot of these are going to be lower grade characters. The big one is Brother Voodoo, has still not been officially announced. I think everybody's assuming that's going to be Doctor Strange along with Clea will be in Doctor Strange.
That's a big dollar book.
Yeah, I mean that book popped up. Basically, Brother Voodoo was thought to be in the first Doctor Strange movie, and it jumped up then and never really came back down.
But the other one was what? Nightmare? Was Nightmare announced?
Nightmare, no, not announced yet. Not that I know of.
Was Dracula announced? Dracula was kind of
Nope.
announced. No,
Not that I know of.
Morgan
Morgan
Le Fay.
I would say Nightmare would probably be in probably in the Spirits of Vengeance stuff, Ghost Rider and
That makes sense. But Morgan Le Fay,
Hellstrom.
who's Morgan Le Fay? Was that announced?
Morgan Le Fay. I would also say would probably fall into that genre.
Enchantress, I think, was announced, right? She's in something.
I don't know if she was officially announced.
They said she's in something though. No, wasn't she? Isn't she
I would
supposed to be like in
assume-
one of these movies?
Yeah, I'd
Or something?
assume either Spirits of Vengeance stuff, or probably
Miss Clea, she tells your fortune. She was announced.
Clea. She'll probably be in Doctor Strange, is my guess.
Same fucking issue as Doctor Strange, right? Like
Jennifer
No,
Cale.
Nightmare.
128
Jennifer Cale wasn't announced, right?
is in 110. Doctor Strange's first appearance and Dormammu's first appearance, I think it's 128, is where Clea appears.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right about
And sometimes,
that.
like, if you're up late and you're watching like an old DVR thing, you can see those commercials and you see that phone number. The phone number doesn't work anymore though.
Miss
like
Clea?
Miss Cleo, yeah.
It's a different
But again,
spelling.
Jennifer
Fun.
Cale wasn't announced, right?
No, that one I think is an affordable buy-in book. Her first appearance is Adventure into Fear number 11. Also, just Fear changed to Adventure when Swamp Thing.
Remember who was on that one?
No.
Who? Eaton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was he on?
And then I think the last one that wasn't announced.
Good at
is,
comics. He was on it before the tipster.
The last one that wasn't announced is Elsa Bloodstone, which I think we all kind of knew about.
Yeah, that one's been rumored for a
Question
good
is
while.
really like, does she get her own thing, or where do they put her? If
I think she comes in either Spirits of Vengeance or in Blade.
Oh, and don't forget about everybody's favorite Glyph.
Well, yeah, we've talked about that one.
Right, but also on the list from the tipster.
Yes, absolutely.
The guy who actually has a halfway decent track record.
Glyph Sentry, and Adam Blue Marvel all out there as well that are probably on their way.
So expensive.
For a modern book, for a new modern, it's very expensive especially because nobody ever talks about the character, and he's never had his own series since his first appearance.
Same with Elsa Bloodstone. She's just not as expensive.
True. Very true. Very true.
Right? I mean, but she's never anywhere either. She's just a beloved character who is popular in comic communities, but these days.
Which one is a better investment right now at the buy-in? So let's say Blue Marvel, let's say it hovers around 75. Some people want to buy it for 60 when it's listed for 100, but they can't get it for that because the dealer's a jerk.
I think Blue Marvel is a book that you could still try to find in bins because it's a book that is, as Gary Nasser or Nasser. Nasser. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. It's overpriced. It is an overpriced book. It's been overpriced for a while. So if you can find it cheap, it's a book you want to jump on. But it's a book that kind of has a very large price, and I don't know if any news is really going to move it that much. It's going to move it up, sure,
right,
but I don't know how much it's going to move it.
One thing,
because again, it's already a very overpriced.
Well, what it's going to do is it's going to move raw copies, right? I mean, all of a sudden you won't be able to pick up a raw copy for less than $300 instead of people just popping them off, $70, $100.
Or those people that have the, I'll sell it for this price on eBay. Those will finally sell. That's what happens to like She-Hulk. The one thing that happens with when all these movie announcements and TV shows happen at one time, it dilutes the market of people buying all this stuff because if you're popping all these off at once, Kamala Khan, Moon Girl, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, John Walker, Cersei, we had all these new announcements. This is on the heels. This is on the heels of SDCC, 2 months ago? So
people only have so much money.
If you want to buy these for investment, you better be you better sleep on a mattress of money to be able to buy all this stuff.
Right.
Or
I'd rather be
ahead of the game. Or be ahead of the game and just, use good comic book sense if
Well, I mean,
that
that's
is such
what
a
I did with the
thing.
Moon Knight, right? I hedged my
Yeah,
bet. I wasn't 100% confident. I'm like, why would they put it at D23? I can see it being a Phase 5 thing. I'm going to pop this off now thanks to the hype. The prices are starting to go. I put it in an auction. It goes for a really high price, hoping that I can buy back in with my profit
right.
when it doesn't get announced, or down the road, pick up a really nice copy with this and some extra money from some of the other things that I was selling at the same time. And I think that's really what you kind of got to do, is just sort of like thoughtfully ride the waves. But I agree with you, and I think that's a really important thing to kind of like take into consideration. All these announcements dilutes the bump in price for these books. They would have gone really crazy if there was just one. But there's 2 sets, and then the other thing is I like to kind of like map out which series, which movies are going to be at the end of the phase. Those are the ones that I'm not worried about right now. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get copies of the books that are coming out, or where the films or television shows are coming out first, so that I can sell them and with the profit buy in on the next wave.
Yeah. So
And
a couple of those, maybe one book we talked about before the podcast was The Heat is now off of High Evolutionary, who may be Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That may be a good one to look at right now while you're buying, buying while the market is looking elsewhere. Yeah. And I mean,
Giant Size Defenders 1 for Korvac. I don't have any of those sitting over here.
yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that one. I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
But they're cheap right now. Nobody's paying
Number
attention.
3, Giant Size Defenders 3.
Giant Size 3. I'm sorry. I'd grab
What about
those.
Namor? Might still have a touch of room. Nico, you stole one at a con, I thought, for a really good price.
Yeah, I got real lucky.
That may be another one like Werewolf by Night or a Tomb of Dracula, where if you got a few bucks laying around, you can maybe get it and then pop it off when an announcement gets made. I think that one is, again, yeah, probably same realm.
But like, books like that scare me for one simple reason. I mean, spending 2, 3, 4
Right.
grand, and the announcement might not happen. That's why I was happier with the Submariner 1 than actually like pulling the trigger on an FF 4. Right price, that's a different story, but paying market in anticipation of an announcement when you're talking about that much cash to get tied up potentially for years if you don't get lucky. You know what I mean? It's not that the Submariner isn't coming. The question, you know what I mean? Like, clearly Marvel's going to do something to challenge Aquaman. The question is just, is he going to happen with Black Panther 2, or are they going to try to go a different route with that film? I think they're probably going to do it. I think it's probably a safe bet. But I'm not necessarily interested in paying the really high ticket price to get an FF4. I mean, that book just keeps jumping. I was talking about it with a friend when it was like $750 a point. And I think those days are long gone. The other thing, like, to be thinking about, for me, I like Warlock's first appearance. They're high, but they're still out there. I like all of the Suicide Squad characters. Now, the Fighting 540 you can't find, but I see more copies of Detective 300 in the last month or so than I've seen ever before. Coming up in live auctions, and certainly the other characters whose books aren't as expensive are all over the place.
King Shark. I mean, maybe there was an announcement they actually cast the voice for King Shark this week, and also Nathan Fillion is joining the Suicide Squad 2 cast. My thought as to who he would be, they haven't announced anybody for the villain, which is supposed to be this group called Jihad, which I don't know if they'll actually keep that name just because of where it puts us in today's day and age. But their first appearance is Suicide Squad #1, the black cover one that has all the characters on the cover. I don't know where else he could fit in unless they bring another character in.
Well, and the rumor is that the leader of that group will be none other than What's
I
his
don't
face?
know. Well, I don't know.
Uh,
Deathstroke?
no, Lord have mercy.
Bronze Tiger?
We'll stop. Someone in the chat maybe can help. You actually see the chat. This is one of those terrible things. Oh, for the love of God!
Wow, that's great. Way to bring it to a screeching halt. Thank you.
Good job, George. It's he used to be on the cartoon when you were a little kid. The DC cartoon.
Oh, Kool-Aid Man.
No, definitely not Kool-Aid Man. He's the guy.
I'm out of that. Was my last one. That was my last one.
His first appearance is a Golden Age book. His first Silver Age appearances in a Flash.
Peacemaker?
No, stop. His first Silver Age appearances in a Flash book. I know Gary's.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
It's gonna be Mark Hamill, Trickster. He was on the TV show as Trickster, the original TV show.
Why do you have to do that?
Well, glad we put that one to bed.
Yeah. So that's painful for me, but we'll see. It was kind of tell me in the live chat. Were they?
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
What I like is that Jimmy would literally have like a nervous fucking breakdown right now. He's probably watching this just irate at what's going on.
Yeah, where did he go?
He said he would be right back. I think we can all theorize about what he's doing, but nobody really knows.
He had to feed his gerbils.
Possibly. I still can't see the live chat. I don't know why it won't let me. It's very sad.
Well, yeah, I don't know what we're supposed to do because I want to like put a bunch of pictures up at this point.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's just go through the new books.
So, well, there was two.
Shout out to hold on, Vandal Savage.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Remember him? I wrote about.
That's dead Spec. He was on. He was the main dude. He was the main dude for Legends of Tomorrow.
Nobody cares about
the TV show.
He
was actually really good. That was a good show.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. My friend.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Not you, John. You don't care about me, but Robert does. Anyway,
I said he was on. He was on Legends of Tomorrow. So.
The Golden Age book is out of sight expensive if you can find them. You know what I mean? But the Silver Age Flash book is dirt cheap. I mean, like shockingly cheap. So I mean, it's one potentially. I just have so much faith in Gunn as a creator. I really think
writer
can do no wrong. Sort of people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Chainsaw on. He's done nothing but produce.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go on to the.
I want to talk about just two of the old books that we looked at this week. Go ahead and hit them up now that Mr. Lamborghini has joined us back again.
I never left. I was here the whole time.
The first one was Eerie Comics #1. This one, yeah. You want to take it, Nico? Tell me what's important about this book. What's important about this book?
It's basically the first pre-code horror book, period.
What? How is it the first pre-code horror book? You mean it's the first horror book?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a CGC 2.5 sold for $1,600, and then 3.5 sold for $3,550. The thing that gets me about this is they both sold on the same day. The higher priced one was a bin that sold earlier than the lower priced and lower grade on auction. Why did they both sell the same day? It seems a little odd to me, but maybe somebody was going after both.
Yeah, absolutely. And you push the number. You know what I mean? Like you lock out.
So somebody was trying to corner the market on it?
Dude, there's so few of these books. Sales like that where there's zero available can absolutely make a book super scarce. It's what I love about the Golden Age market. You just have like a handful of people that have these books in their collection. Sometimes, there's 25 copies of a particular book on the census, and just a few sales can push a book, in an astronomically high direction. This is an amazing cover, right? Like Good Girl Art meets Nosferatu. It is I mean, something I'd love to
I
get my
don't
hands on.
know. That's amazing. I think that guy looks like he's trying to find the bathroom, and she was happened to be just on the ground there, seducing him. The other book I had was Terrifying Tales number 13. This one, I just thought it was a cool cover. It's a LB Cole. Again, Nico's favorite stuff. It's got a good girl. It's got some flames. It's got like some witchcraft going on in the background, and then obviously this dude wearing a Halloween costume.
That's the devil. That's not a Halloween costume.
Raw.
So
Well,
whatever.
and here's the thing, right? That book is, in terms of Golden Age PCH books, not really that scarce. I mean, you're like,
and it's not really a great
$100, and it's not that scarce, but like, not really comparatively. You'll see a lot of these copies up in live auctions, even on eBay. This particular copy was super sharp that sold. It's one that hasn't popped yet, and the issue for me is like, who's got these copies? If it's one guy sitting on half a dozen of them, Katie, bar the door when there's no more copies left. Right,
and it's LB Cole, and I wouldn't say that's a great LB Cole cover.
No,
but as live as other art.
Cole's super duper hot right now. I mean, it is like the year of LB Cole. We've seen like
Jimmy's gonna say like, "Do you even know who that is?"
Well, they're all great. Two, I don't think you can hear me. So
sorry, that wasn't a good
what it is.
Do you even know who that is?
You see that? That's great. I'm enjoying that. I enjoy that he can't hear me.
Jimmy smiled.
Oh, can nobody hear me?
Whatever. We can hear you, buddy.
Okay. I don't think John can.
Loud and clear.
Doesn't matter. Listen, the point is, sometimes John can't hear me, and that's not my fault. But whatever, it is what it is. There seem to be a lot of books though this week that that are coming out. It seems to be a pretty heavy Wednesday Warriorine week. No?
Yes.
So it's pretty heavy in that regard. I think. Were there any other books you wanted to talk about, John, or do you want to get into Wednesday Warriorine?
Wednesday Warriorine.
So first, I'm going to start with this. Turtles 97. It says here dead Spec. What does that mean? So this week sees Turtles 97. Turtles 97 is supposed to see what? It's supposed to see Jenica finally get the yellow bandana. Like that means something. Like that's important. Okay.
Yeah, when she joins the team.
LCS didn't get them. Rats.
Oh,
I will, and also
I think that came out.
The reason I say it's dead Spec is I went to a shop that I go to every once in a while. They actually usually have a couple copies of good stuff left. They had like 10 copies of 96 on the shelf after 2 weeks. Like nobody's even talking about Turtles anymore. It's amazing to me how quick this thing died. I was thinking this would 96 and 97 would have a little bit of sustaining power. It tells you how fickle the market is now and how little they actually care about what's in the comics versus if they can flip it for $1.
I mean, there's some nice, like there's some store variants too. I mean, there's some nice ones. There's some not so nice ones. I just want to shout out AOD Collectibles. I bought a bunch of those ones of 96, I think. That's the one that comes out in 97. 97.
I bought a couple 97 variants, yeah. There's just a couple 90s.
So. Who knows?
I bought a 97 variant that didn't have reused art or old art that actually had new art with Jenica on it.
I think the Turtles stuff is really good to sit on.
Yeah,
because if this stuff becomes toys, it's going to become movies. We'll see where it goes. I mean, it's definitely going to become in some kind of animated thing, I would imagine. Whether it turns into toys and whether it sticks, we don't really know. I would hope it does, but I don't know. Another book I wanted to touch on really fast before we got into heavy Wednesday Warriorine is you sent me this image, and I didn't hear about this book. So can you tell me what this is about?
What is this?
It's called The Superior AOC. Is this what I think it is?
It looks like a Keen Spot book. Keen Spot always puts out great books.
What does AOC stand for in this instance?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
So it's another book about her. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It looks like a fake ass Superior Spider-Man kind of thing. Whatever. Keen Spot puts out a lot of weird stuff. Do they put out anything that's like not weird and political satire?
Yeah, I mean they had that horror book that was okay, right?
I don't know. I'll take your word for it.
Well, I said okay. I didn't say it was great.
I don't know which book it was, honestly.
Oh, this, by the way, is what 97 looks like. It's the cover B.
That's the cover B where she's on the cover with this Kevin Eastman, part 50% Turtles creator. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Really?
Well, it's not really selling. I didn't talk about it because it's not selling. So
I know, that's what I mean. Like, why is it not selling? Is there too many people that saw it coming? I mean, we all saw it coming, but there's a lot of books people see coming and then they don't buy them. I don't know. Just blows my mind, honestly.
So the other thing that happened this week, though, was somebody tweeted at Donnie Cates, "Don't forget about our beloved avocado baby," and then tweeted a picture of like this sleeper costume. And then, by the way, his name is Danny ERM, and then it has like an avocado emoji. So I don't know, like I don't know.
Buy Venom 165.
No, but my point is, I don't know if this guy's biased in some way. Anyways, Donnie Cates responded, "I haven't." And this was on Friday. So this resulted in this book, Venom First Host number 3, starting to jump because this is the first appearance of Sleeper. Are you disagreeing with that, Nico?
I mean, 3 and 5 are the ones that people are excited about, but Venom 164.
Venom 164
on the cover of 4.
What are you saying? What is he saying?
3, 4, and 5 are the ones people are excited about.
No, what are you saying? Venom 165 is what? What is that?
It is the Venom has a baby book.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yep.
The reason I say that is because the last page of the last page of Venom 17. Okay. Spoiler. Who wants to hear it?
Oh, so wait. So Venom 17 comes out this week,
right?
But before we get into that, so Donnie Cates talked about. Follow me here. Donnie Cates talked about the Sleeper outfit, and then the first host Venom 3 started selling well, and so did Venom First Host 3 second print. Then you started talking about Venom 165 out of nowhere for no reason. The only thing I want to say is like people are quoting like Comic-Con numbers for these books, and I think you gotta like just remember that just shows like the number of copies that were ordered initially by retailers and
FOC.
Yeah, so Marvel published way more copies of this book than the Comic-Con numbers. So Comic-Con numbers are completely inaccurate numbers, but what it is, especially for second prints that don't sell out.
Right.
I mean, once in Future or whatever that Boom Studios one is, those numbers will probably be right because they sold out, and all those numbers that are ordered is pretty much the print run. But when it comes to books that are second prints like this that didn't sell out, that didn't have a third print or a fourth print, the numbers are completely inaccurate.
Well, it's also different.
Shines. I love it when he does.
But
that.
yeah, so those books are good, and
That's
then so they started selling well on the weekend. But then Jim's Comics on Instagram tweeted out what was happening in Venom 17. I'll give him a shout out because he was the first to talk about it.
Canada, maple syrup.
Yeah, whatever.
What did he say was happening in this book?
No, he tweeted out the last page. So in Venom 17, or the last page or whatever happened, in Venom 17, the Sleeper outfit comes back. Ooh, I don't have an image of that, obviously, but if you desperately need it, it's on his Instagram account.
Oh. You didn't pick one up, Nico?
Yeah, I got one. You want to see it?
No, I don't. Listen, that doesn't matter. The point is, the book started. So it made the book start selling for more once that was leaked because now people actually need. Like now, it actually is confirmed that this is coming back. It's more than just this stupid tweet that Donnie Cates came out with. And what are you talking about? How is the baby involved? Because we're talking about this outfit, right? So people think that Dylan Brock might be in this outfit. That's why they might think?
No, dude.
No, that's
okay. Then I don't know. I haven't read it.
The sleeper symbiote is another symbiote, just like in Venom Lethal Protector in the Venom movie, how they had all those other symbiotes.
Sure.
Sleeper is another one just like them, and Sleeper was created in the lab, basically whatever that lab is. That was in the movie and is in Lethal Protector, and they couldn't control it as well as they thought they could, and this and that, and it came out in Venom 165 is when the Sleeper symbiote first appeared, and it also is that
Venom 165.
Correct.
Okay.
It's also that birth issue or whatever you want to call it, first, Dylan Brock thing, whatever. If I don't know if we've ever heard what that
issue, right?
What's
I don't
that?
know. That's the more interesting issue, right? Is it last page?
Not where the market will never gravitate towards that at this point over Venom 7 or 9 because it's been kept in the background too long.
So you can still buy Venom 165s for $10, whereas the Venom First Host is a book that is out of this world, right? Isn't it like $30 to $50 at this point?
The second print is selling for $40 to $50.
Yeah.
Okay,
and the first print's at
I don't know why
15 to 20.
What does that matter?
Yeah,
Why does it matter?
The issue is this, right? 165 baby little Venom. At the end of Venom 17, the avocado fucking baby refers to Dylan Brock as, spoiler, cover your ears, family.
No, I think when he said avocado baby,
he
he was talking about the sleeper being the avocado baby.
Correct.
I think you're looking too much into this. But sorry, is Venom 17 selling well or no?
That's why everybody's all up in arms.
Okay, whatever. Is Venom 17 selling well or no? Because it's already sold. It's already sold out and into second printing, right?
I like the.
There's like 4 covers for this stupid book.
Yeah,
and there's a 1 in 25 by Dave Johnson that seems to be hovering around 30 to 40
for 17.
Yeah, I don't know that it's a big book like in that way.
I don't think it is. I mean, I think it's a book that's going to push other books, but it did sell out, and I do like all of these Marvel frame covers that seem to be selling really well.
I like the Venom frame variant. I
like all of them. I don't think any of them look like trash. I like all of them, and
they got good artists to do them this time.
Thank God.
So that's interesting. But yeah, so we talked about Marvel Comics 1000 a little bit, right? When I say a little bit, we talked about it quite a bit. Yeah. So what's going on with this She-Hulk cover?
That one when it got solicited a while back, I just always thought it was a nice one.
Is it selling well or anything, or we don't
it's selling as good as any of the age variants, if you want to call them that. So they did age variants like they've done in the past, say like with Amazing Spider-Man of 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever.
Sure.
This is She-Hulk. I think this would be the 80s one, as we talked about earlier in the podcast, our first appearance. It's Tedesco, which is, he's always does amazing art. It's selling for about, last I looked, it's selling for 10, which is the cover price.
Yeah.
Who's buying this? Who's buying this book for $10?
Well, I mean, that's the cover price of all of them, right? So
dumb.
I mean, apparently I paid $10 because I bought one today.
Dumb.
What a loser.
Why? I want to read it.
Oh my God.
The
story is like 2-3 pages.
The other big news that came out, I guess, early is that in the last page of Action Comics 1014, we see Naomi. Dum dum dum. So like who cares? But
dun, dun, dun.
She was rumored to come in 1015. It was Bleeding Cool who said that. Yep. So the one-page thing is whatever. We knew this was happening. I don't know if that means anything for Action 1014. I really like the cover B, but I don't know if the book's going to do anything in the world we're at. Who knows?
I know that's the hard part. Like, I don't see why this would matter at all. It's not a first appearance. It's not her first appearance in continuity. It's her first appearance in another comic book.
There was other rumors that came out on Monday about Red Hood and the Outlaws 37. How it has the first appearance of a non-binary character, and that book immediately sold out. And now, you can't find any prices at cover, and that book has kind of shot up. I don't see that book. I don't see that book lasting. 2, non-binary. I don't know what that means. 3, should we care? Do we need to know? Do we need to know what? Do we need to know what every character's sexual preference and what their recommended pronouns are? Do we need to know that? I personally don't think we do. I think that takes away from the story. What are you saying?
There may be a young non-binary reader who could identify with this character in a way that they may not be able to identify.
Yeah, I just feel like we're putting labels on people, and we're trying to push equality and how we're celebrating each other's differences, but I don't really enjoy it really. And
I'm
but I don't
listening
know. I think it's okay.
podcast.
I haven't really looked into it. I'm still gonna pick up copies. I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it. I just don't enjoy that. Like we have to know about everybody's sexual preference and all that. There, like, I don't understand what the
Are you
point. Like,
not
this
going
is
to share your sexual proclivities with the listeners of the podcast? Is that what you're trying to say?
well, even so, I mean, this is a comic book podcast, so I mean, is this the venue for that? I don't think so.
Do you like
It's
how
like
I
I don't
use
think.
the word
But anyways, it is what
proclivity?
it is. So this is what the cover B, which looks cool, kind of. He's flying through the air, and this is the cover A. So
This
I mean,
has most
The
of
more
the.
interesting issue with this book?
what's the more interesting issue of this book?
Well, I believe
The Babe in Arms. Babe in Arms.
no.
Put that one up. Put the
there's
image
a-
of that up.
There's a
It's a
Marvel
sketch.
a Marvel executive who's
Yeah.
very angry.
There's a Marvel executive who's angry about what? About this book?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Another first appearance in the book.
Cloud.
There's four first appearances in this book. That one's
Is it
Babe
this
in
one?
Arms, who's like a zombie that is holding a baby and has a gun. How do you not love the appeal of that character? That
What?
looks
So,
amazing.
wait. The character is always holding a baby.
Look, go into the front cover, cover A. It's got the
Holy
baby.
shit.
Isn't that amazing?
That
That's why
character
the
better
character
always be holding a baby and
The character's
cutie.
name-
That's amazing.
is Babe in Arms. I assume they like die if they lose the baby or something. That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Because he's a zombie because he's taking the life force of the baby, right?
I don't know. They don't.
Okay, now that's a character I can get behind.
right.
Now,
right.
what if,
DC knows
what
what they're
if-
doing.
Jimmy,
Yeah, exactly.
what if that's a non-binary character? Will you be very
No.
excited?
That's fine, dude. My point is, like, I
No.
just don't think it matters.
I
Who
thought
cares?
you're not a bigot.
How am I saying big things that are
Oh,
coming
geez
off as big
Louise.
as bigoted?
No,
I'm just
I
saying,
don't
like, I don't think it all. I don't think it matters. I don't like that people use it. We're using like people's sexuality as a marketing tool, and to
Yeah.
me, it doesn't come off right, and I just don't care about it. So
And that's the way I think that really you need to kind of explain your objection. Which, look, I don't think anybody gives a fuck about thoughtful stories that address these sorts of issues, so that again people can identify with characters, in sort of a rich storytelling way. When, however, it's used as a marketing ploy to push sales numbers, anyone
Let me ask you this.
should be a little fucking disturbed by it. So I
Let
don't
me
know.
ask you this. Has-
disturbed by it. I mean, nobody cared about like the penguin having sex with actual penguins.
Jesus
I
Christ,
don't think anybody should be
somebody
disturbed by this at all. The only thing you should be disturbed by is that somebody in DC marketing said, yes, we should use this to promote this book. Whereas
I don't
like,
think anybody did though.
they did, and I think they did. Didn't like they pushed out sketches.
I
And
read it-
that's what Bleeding Cool posted sketches. They didn't post
Exactly.
pages of the
Exactly.
things. That means that it was pushed. It was marketed like that.
True.
Those, like
But-
in some kind of press release. Whereas I say, like, who cares? People are
Okay.
people.
Also, it's not.
It was
the
in poor
first,
taste to do the promotional thing. I think it's a good move to have a non-binary superhero. Period.
It's not the
Sure,
first
but I mean-
one though.
There could be millions of non-binary characters, and that's great because we don't need to know everybody's sexuality and their sexual preference, and if they're binary, non-binary, if they're like
Well,
cis,
it's
they're
part of the
not
story.
cis, or whatever these phrases even mean. Like we don't need to know that about everybody.
I thought your favorite character was fucking bi, non-binary. I don't know what you call him, but
Dakin.
yeah,
I do really like Dakin.
we know you do.
But
Like,
because he
really
uses his sexuality in such a hilarious way, like there and Fear itself, he tries to make a distraction, so he goes up to Hawkeye and he just starts making out with him out of nowhere, and it's like what? It's just so weird, and I just enjoy it because it's just so out of the box. But
Was Neil Gaiman? Neil Gaiman doesn't like asexual people, or not asexual, non-heterosexual people.
what?
Is this true? So I was reading up on the non-binary characters that already exist in DC. One being Rebus, who is in Doom Patrol, Grant Morrison character, already exists. Desire in Sandman already exists, non-binary.
Okay.
And I was reading this thing on it, and it said I think it was a article that was promoting like other sexualities in comics, and it said, "But be careful with this. But be careful with Sandman because Neil Gaiman isn't too polite when it comes to transgendered people in the comic or something like that." I had never heard that before. Is he?
I don't know, dude.
Is that
Gaiman's
true?
like a fucking uber lib for everything I've ever.
I feel like he would be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, I
just
just
read
remember
this
Hey,
article.
can we also mention real quick, like on the list of shit people stop paying attention to real quick? Sandman books. Come on, I mean,
Yeah.
nobody's talking.
I mean,
about
Sandman
that.
1 still seems to be performing well.
Well-
I see it selling at, like, I keep seeing them show up
The price
at
is moved.
stores and selling within the next week of me showing up to the store.
Yeah, the price has moved, but people stop talking about it, and I think as the months tick on, again,
Nothing's
there'll be an
happening.
opportunity. Right, there'll be an opportunity to get in. We have a market that is just new, different. Today this is.
I will say,
I like Sandman, but you know what? Like, I think we kind of screwed up because I'm forcing us to argue about stuff for no reason, and we're getting off
dragging
topic.
us out.
We're getting off topic about our Wednesday Warrioring, and I apologize. So can we just put this on the back burner for a second and go back to Wednesday Warrioring?
What's that Red Hood Outlaw 37 selling for? Is it just above
I
cover
haven't
right
seen.
now?
It's above cover. Is all I saw.
I grabbed the A cover, not the B.
That's definitely a book I'm going to look for. You wrote Mountain Men on here, and then you put the variant
Mountain
covers.
Head.
So what's Mountain Head, not Mountain Men. Sorry, Mountain Head. What's up with that?
Mountain Men. Mountain Men.
Well, I mean, Mountain Head has. IDW has had some hot series over the last few months, but do they really last? Are they gonna?
I think this is a Ryan Otley 1 in 10 variant.
Okay.
Selling for about 20. Selling for a double ratio. Yeah, who cares, honestly?
And it's a 6-part miniseries. And then the other one is what? Action? Yeah, Superman 14 and Supergirl are reissued. I looked at a Superman today, and I didn't see any I didn't see any Legion of superhero real differences. So I don't know. I need somebody who's smart to tell me what is okay. What's the difference?
So if you go to the one page where it's like a big splash page that has a lot of characters on it, there's a character front and center, and I don't know because I only saw this out of context. There's a character kind of front and center. In the original one, looked
white,
either light-skinned,
white,
Latino, white, and then in the reissue is a black character, obviously.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I should take those all off eBay then. That's going to be a good recall book to.
No, it's going to be $6 next year. It's going to be $6 next year.
That's going to be a solid $150 9.8 in my opinion.
Maybe.
Yes, it's going to be a good book at 9.8 in my opinion.
By the time you send it to Europe and you get it back, do you send your books to Europe?
Yeah, I send my books to Europe. Yep, that's right. Yep.
CGC Europe because you probably get.
The forums of
Australia.
Yeah, it's good times.
He has Halo, dude. I'm in Australia.
No, he gets French pricing.
So Mall 1 comes out this week as well from Vault Comics. I know that there was some stuff going on with the Mall from Scout. I don't know what really went on with that. Mall 1 has a Tomb of Dracula, or as
anyone got a copy of the complaint?
Homage. A complaint of what?
Was there a civil action filed?
No.
Supposedly.
What do you mean supposedly?
That's what they said.
Who did?
I thought Scout did. Did they?
Well,
not?
Scout said I thought they said I don't think they did. I think people are saying that they did. I don't think there was confirmation, but Scout did send some kind of letter, and then Vault sent a letter back saying we think the comics are completely different subjects, and your copyright only has the in front of it. So, I mean, I don't think they really. I don't know if Scout really trademarked the name. If they did, then I don't know. We'll see. I think they just put out the
I'll be surprised.
And are saying that their comic book is the rights are being infringed, even though they didn't trademark it or whatever. But
I'll be surprised
we'll
if they didn't because of it being optioned, that it wouldn't be trademarked. Isn't Mall? Is this the? No, it's just Mall from Vault. Is that like a zombie book?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They did send out a 1 per store retailer preview a few weeks ago.
That was given away at San Diego Comic-Con as well.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was
So it's
able
been
to
out
pick up
for
one of those.
it's been out for a long time.
No, I've had it for about a month.
No.
I think they sent it up to stores.
I've had it for years.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Dick. Marvel Spider-Man Velocity 1, there's a Granoff variant. It's a 1 in 25. There was one sale at $40. I didn't see like any other noteworthy ones.
Was there really?
Yeah, there's just one sale.
Well, I'm surprised there was one at that much. It was around ratio. So
House
why
of
I
X.
didn't send you a picture of it.
All of these House of X books seem to be doing well, especially the connecting variants. House of X 3 comes out this week, and Powers of X 2 second print. And again, I guess the connecting covers are the ones to look for.
Yeah, so I'm behind because I can't get a freaking copy of one of the issues, and I haven't been able to like keep reading it. But who are the characters that they're featuring? Like Nimrod has already gotten a lot of play for being a character within the 2 series. Moira McTaggart.
Moira McTaggart, yeah. And X-Men 96. You're not buying that if you don't already have it.
Quentin Quire.
Oh, is Quentin Quire in it?
I don't know how to pronounce his last name, obviously.
Yeah.
Quire. Apparently he's a big character in the...
I wouldn't say a big character. I don't remember running across him. Maybe I missed it. Maybe in the
Are you up to date? Are you up to date on the...
I've read both through 2.
Oh, so you are up to date on the issues. Okay. Tell us more. Who are the other characters that are getting play?
Maybe I didn't read House number 2. House is the second one, I believe. No, those were it. Basically, everybody went crazy when I think it's Powers of X number 2. Moira McTaggart is revealed to have these multiple lives, and
that's the book I like that I don't have in high grade, and it's driving me nuts. I might just go ahead and buy one. But
96.
Yeah,
96.
And then Ileana Rasputin, I think that's 145. Is her first appearance as an adult. As a child, she's in Giant Size.
That's Magic.
Yeah,
that's Magic. Yeah. I mean that book.
But 145 is the book. The one with the hand on it, isn't it?
It's like a green cover.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not the one you want, I would think.
If you want Magic,
right.
The new book that people are starting to finally accept is that miniseries number 1 as her first appearance as Magic, as opposed to
145 where she just appears as an adult.
No, that's her. Yeah, I mean they're both good. They're both good books. That one is just her as Rasputin, and then Magic. People are starting to go towards the mini.
I mean, she's got a huge part in the series.
No, it's a different Rasputin. It's a new character. They introduced a bunch of new characters who are kind of future versions of old characters. So there's like a new Nightcrawler, there's a new Magic, and that's why they had that store variant, or that's the cover variant, the secret variant last week. The two characters on the cover were the new characters, and then the secret cover was their old versions, Nightcrawler and Magic. So the new characters appeared in the first issue of Powers of X number 2. I'm sorry, number 1. Powers of X number 1. House of X number 2 is that issue when Mariah McTaggart reveals that she has all these past lives, and Hickman kind of reinvented the character, and that's what people are like all excited about. Like, oh, this is amazing. And this is why I keep saying these books are not, if nobody ever told you these stories were to be connected at the end, you would not know that they are the same story. They're 2 separate stories at this point. And I really wish they didn't name them like House of X and Powers of X, releasing them every other week, because it's confusing as to which
it would be cool if it was just
happens.
Between that, there's like 7 covers for each issue.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they're doing it, because they can sell all those.
Yeah, big money grab.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're doing big things with that title, man. They're rebooting all of the X-Men, so they have to put all their cards in on this, and they are.
And Nathan Summers apparently plays.
I like that character.
No, we already talked about this, didn't we? It's Nathan Fillion. He joins the Suicide Squad too for some reason.
It's not,
we talked about this, right? You guys talked about this. You said King Shark, who was previously announced, we had his voice for Suicide Squad 2, and then Nathan Fillion joined too.
Yeah.
We don't know who he plays,
With
but he
respect to
joined.
Nathan Summers, what's
That's
the
when the
book there?
podcast came to a stop because Nico couldn't
Screeching
remember
Halt.
who it was.
Yeah. So what? There's him as a baby, which was back in the day a really big book, and now is just dirt cheap. When that
I
was
told
thought
you-
to be like the original, like Cable as a child, when Cable was more popular
Yeah.
than Deadpool. And then what's his first appearance as an adult? What can we bring those comments back up so I can read them? It was like butt magic.
What do you mean? What's Cable's first appearance as an adult?
Oh,
New Mutants
I give
87.
up. I give up.
I told you
This
I
is
at
the
the
point
one.
where like I don't even know what to do, and I'm sorry.
I told
for
you I
not being
jumped
able to
on that.
control them. I have no shot.
I jumped on the Nusser Despective train a couple cons ago. I picked up some Extermination #1, first appearance of the newer version of Cable. Whatever, he's from a different time period. Extermination #1.
Young and handsome Cable or something.
Yeah, it's basically he looks
old and
like
gritty fucking Cable. Then
he looks like college age Cable played on the football team.
it sounds
And he's
terrible.
got
That's like emo
he's-
Lobo. I want fucking
Well-
old and angry Cable.
Well, some people like a sexier looking Cable.
Yeah, I'm
They
not.
don't
I'm not
want-
that guy.
They don't like.
I want serial killer old man.
Fuck.
They don't.
He's murdered.
They don't
men.
like-
Time out.
What?
No, we're not. Let's move on.
Oh,
Fine.
oh, moving right ahead.
I like
Moving
So
right
that
that
ahead.
was our Wednesday Warrior. I hope you enjoyed it. That was a fun segment. You guys want to move on to Market Watch? We already talked about Venom
Yeah.
first host, which
Done.
is fun, and we talked about Venom 17.
We
I
talked
guess
about those.
what's that?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about
Not
those.
much we need to talk about.
Well, I mean, Once in Future is going to a 5th printing, which is weird. I mean, some people are saying that they're finding lots of copies of first prints. I wish I was. I'd be
Yeah.
grabbing them the first time I see them.
Yeah, right.
Second prints, come out this week? Selling for $50. So we'll see where that goes. The book's gone into 5th printing, so 3rd and 4th haven't come out yet. It's ridiculous.
Can I just mention for the record, from the bottom of my heart, buy Avengers 47 with the money that you're thinking about spending on Once in Future, whatever.
I mean, I just don't understand why Boom is doing this. Why don't they just keep printing the same printing? Why do they have to just keep going back to print? Just keep printing the same book, but they want to. They're pushing this towards the speculative market.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that's good. The book is now an ongoing series, but long term, is this healthy for the series? I don't think so. I mean, how many print runs did Saga 1 have? It had what? It had 6 printings as well. They didn't come out like this.
Not
So
6.
whatever, it's ridiculous. The other Market Watch thing we have here is Amazing Spider-Man 667.
Bam. Can I get a
That's
variant?
the variant, right? A 9.6
Oh,
sold for
Lord.
10. Yeah, I was at Fan Expo this weekend, and a retailer had one up. I said, "How much is that?" And it was $10,000. And he said, "Yeah, he found it in his basement a few weeks ago."
It's amazing.
And I was like, "That's a fantastic find." He said, "It's an amazing find." So shout out to him. I'm not going to say his name obviously
play on
because I'm
words.
a dick. But
Was it raw?
Yeah, it was raw, and he just
What did it look like?
$10,000 for a raw?
listen. He also had he had the only Werewolf by Night in the room.
Yeah.
After the news came out, it was a 8.5, and he wanted 2,600 Canadian. So who knows what that means?
What's that mean?
I mean, it's well above GPA.
It's like 3. It's a little bit less than.
So-
It's like 80% American.
Who knows?
Uh,
But I mean, it is what it is. So
it's
I mean,
not a terrible price.
those are all good books. I mean, ASM 667 isn't a book that I think you can really find in bins, unless
Well, check your basement.
unless you have a comic book store and you have back issue bins. I don't think that's a book that you're going to really come across. Maybe you will. Maybe the comic book gods are looking down on you. I'm not sure.
And you were pushing 100 copies of Amazing Spider-Man, had a variant, didn't sell it, forgot that you had it, and it just happened to be in your basement.
Yeah, you're a run collector, and you had them all.
But I think that's it for tonight. Am I wrong? Do we have anything else for tonight?
The one I had 2 books on here on the Sleepy Spec.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! There's a Sleepy Spec section. I didn't even notice that. Oh man, we need to talk about that. Okay, yeah. Let's go into Sleepy Spec. I'm in.
The first one I had was Moon Knight number 20 from 2006. This is not a book that anybody had not. It's not a book that most people had not had on their radar or known about. It's been a $15 book for a while, but this actually reprints Werewolf by Night 32. So
It's an oversized book.
it's oversized. There's a sketch 1 in 20, I think. Yeah,
And
1 in
and there's
20.
newsstands as well.
And there's a newsstand version. I mean, I feel like this is one of those books you could find in con box for $2 when you see a little run of them. Most of these books ain't worth a whole lot, but this one is a good one to pull out if you can find it. The cover isn't great, but because it doesn't allude to the contents, but a good one to maybe pull out if you can find it for high grade. Throw it up, make a few bucks on it. The other one that I want to talk about was this future spec. Captain Marvel number 12 was revealed that it's going to have this character, or Carol Danvers is going to turn into this dark Captain Marvel character.
Well,
And
before
she's
you get,
going to destroy the Avengers. Go on.
Marvel said that Star was supposed to appear in what, number 9?
Mark Brooks said she would be in 10, and he guaranteed his life on it.
Yeah, and she debuted in 8. So
Correct.
who knows what's gonna if she debuts in 12? Maybe it's 11, maybe it's 10. Right, or we're not at 10, right? We're at 9. 9's come out and 10 hasn't come out
Nine's
yet.
out.
So
10 is
who
out.
knows where we're going with this? I mean, I think all of this kind of spec is good spec.
I bought 5 copies of number 11 when I heard this was going to be number 12 cover.
I hope you didn't buy them from Midtown or My Comic.
No, I don't buy anything from Midtown anymore. They're trash.
Especially since they've been disavowed.
They've been disavowed from this podcast, and we do not buy from them anymore. I think at the worst, say you buy these things right now, you can still buy them pre-order from some sites. Number 11, Marvel.
You after the fact once they realized that you knew what you were doing, but they didn't.
That's not where I bought them from.
Oh,
I bought them from a place that actually ships stuff. No matter if you ordered them and they go